Hey, it's Kaero. Welcome back to the channel. We're a couple days into Wilds of Eldraine spoiler season, and there are some really good white cards I think you'll want to know about. So we're going to go through the top 5 that have been revealed so far. If you liked the video, thanks for that thumbs up. Thanks for subscribing. And here we go with number 5, Spellbook Vendor. I think this card's going to take people by surprise. It is a human peasant for 2. It's a 2/2 with vigilance. Okay, not great, but the text box says at the beginning of combat on your turn, you may pay 1 generic mana when you do create a sorcerer role token attached to target creature you control. Now, roles are a new mechanic from Wilds of Eldraine. They are token enchantment auras, and if you attach it to a creature, if you control another role, put that one to the graveyard, but enchanted creature gets +1/+1 and has whenever this creature attacks, scry 1. The +1/+1, that's fine, that's good, but they are also enchantments and they are auras, meaning enchantress builds that get benefits when enchantments enter the battlefield are going to have an enchantment every turn at the beginning of combat for 1 mana, not to mention builds that specifically care about auras. But also, what about builds that care about tokens? Because these roles are tokens too. So if your deck cares at all about any of those, this card is going to be deceptively powerful, and you're going to catch people off guard by having an enchantment token aura enter every turn. Moving on, let's talk about Stroke of Midnight. This is a 3-mana destroy any non-land permanent at instant speed. This can easily be compared to Generous Gift in Commander. While it doesn't hit lands like Generous Gift does, it also gives only a 1/1 human instead of a 3/3 elephant, which is quite the downgrade for the opponent. This card's weak spot is going to be versus mono red aggro or any deck where an opponent goes wide with a lot of cheap permanents, since you won't get a really good payoff for destroying those. But if you're playing versus mid-range or control, this packs a serious punch due to its many targets in the form of any non-land permanent. Next, we're going to see a new board wipe. Now, board wipes are good depending on the deck you're running. One-sided board wipes are even better. This card requires you to build around it a little bit, but it can be devastating to an opponent. If you're making swarms of tokens and you rely on numbers rather than big creatures, this is a sideboard card you'll want to own. In a damage race, you'll have the ability to wipe the big creatures from the opponent's board and keep your numerous 1/1s, 2/2s, or 3/3s and get the kill. Pair this with something like Raid Bombardment, which is also printed in Wilds of Eldraine. You've got a winning strategy. Next up is Virtue of Loyalty. It's an enchantment with an adventure. Now, adventures have in the past only been on creatures, but have historically been very powerful due to their versatility in the early and late game and their ability to grant card advantage. Making it 2/2 Knight with Vigilance for 2 mana isn't like amazing, but it's far from bad in an aggressive strategy, and having the 5-mana enchantment on the top of your curve is right where you want to be to close out those games. Pair this with some aggressive creatures that care about getting +1/+1 counters, and you've got a winning strategy. In Standard, there may also be some synergy with Invasion of New Phyrexia, since when you flip that, Teferi makes knights and buffing them is kind of his thing, and this makes a 2/2 knight and puts counters on it. The last card we're talking about today is Glass Casket. This is originally printed in Throne of Eldraine. It saw pretty much ubiquitous play during the Eldraine Standard. I think that will probably continue. Glass Casket is a great removal spell against decks that can't deal with artifacts, and though Ossification, recently printed, is better, it requires a basic land to attach to, and that's a problem when you're running 3-color control because you have lots and lots of dual lands, so running basics doesn't really help you there. So Glass Casket will be a great addition to and answer early threats for 3-color control decks in the upcoming Standard. If you like this video, check out the top 5 black cards from Wilds of Eldraine so far, and they are really pretty good. And hit that thumbs up, please, and subscribe. Thank you very much for all the support, and have a great day.